The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash,
a roundtable of Cowboys insiders,
dropping wisdom
and offering sizzling takes
on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your host,
Newy Scruggs.
Here we are. It's the Thursday Media Mash, final one of the week, and there is a lot to talk about as the Cowboys get ready to take on the Baltimore Ravens, the 0-2 Baltimore Ravens, the Cowboys trying not to fall to 0-2 at home. You know the cast and the crew. It is Jacques Taylor, the author, former Cowboy beat writer. We got the Hall of Famer here. He is Ed Werder. And one day, maybe, Hopefully he can join Ed and Shireen Williams
and all the
and
great
Rick Gosselin, the other Frank Lux, and the other people that have run through here.
They've been run through here. It's a legacy.
Yes, I mean, just for the fact that you have not been able to see a Super Bowl, you should be getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, having to cover so much here. He is Clarence Hill of the of All City Dallas.
There you go. Thank you. You almost made that mistake. I heard it in your voice.
We caught it.
This is why he doesn't get votes for the Pro Football Hall of Fame
I made that mistake. Let's start with Ed today.
Let's start with Ed?
Sure.
Yeah, because I wasn't here this morning. So you talk about the team meeting that wasn't.
The team meeting that wasn't? So Mike McCarthy in his press conference made some mention. I think he was answering David Moore's question about Dak and his consistency in a situation like this where you're coming off a bad loss. And Mike made reference to a team meeting. Several people spoke, and one of the players acknowledged the importance of Dak and his consistency in difficult environments such as they face this week. So that sent everybody, myself including, wasting our time trying to figure out, was there a hit the panic button meeting this week in advance of Week 3 playing the Ravens? And it appears there was not. There was simply a meeting of the Leadership Council that Mike McCarthy has created. So some of the top leaders in the locker room at various positions, including Dak and Zach Martin, but not Ezekiel Elliott, we found out. They got together. They get together periodically, and they did this week, whether it was a coincidence or not. And then they dispersed the message, through the locker room, practice, individual group, position meeting groups, that kind of thing. But there was no big come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah, because
if you need one after Week 2, you got problems.
They got problems.
They got problems. It was funny because they had a team meeting after Week 2. And it was funny because I asked CD about the urgency of reestablishing the home field advantage, and lost 2 games at home. We won 12. We won 16 straight. This is not an urgency. And then somebody asked him about the team meeting, and he started saying, "Yeah, we had a team meeting about the urgency." I'm confused here.
He did seem to confirm that there was some kind of team meeting.
Make it make sense, right?
It makes sense, but yeah, it was clearly more just the Leadership Council talking, and I think Mike McCarthy sold it more than what it was. That there was some kind of come to Jesus meeting after Week 2.
So, do we know who's on the Leadership Council? Obviously,
D-Law. I think it's D-Law and Zach and Dak. Who else is old?
Jordan Lewis.
yeah. Who else is old?
Big Ten representative Jordan Lewis.
It's funny because that's why I hate some of us reporters sometimes. And Zeke said, "I'm not on the leadership team." Do you want to be? The dude got cut. He went to New England. He just showed up. He's making $1 million. He's not on the leadership.
Stephen Jones called him an icon. Why would he not be on the leadership council?
Why would he be back on the lead? He just need to get reacclimated. He's a rotational back at this point, okay? Come on. Why would he be on the leadership council? So then somebody said, "Do you want to be?" What?
So Dalvin Cook is not on the leadership council.
No. He just got here.
Not yet.
We're going down on the leadership council, okay?
Was it one year they had?
Hey, you know who else?
Remember the one year
98 is not on leadership council either. I just said 98.
What's one year they put on the council? He just got here. Was Bennett? Did Bennett just get here one? Was that at that time?
Martellus Bennett?
Yeah, no, not Martellus. His brother. Michael Bennett was
there.
Michael.
I don't know.
Him and his tiny shoulder pads.
He earned it with his time in Seattle. He had a ring.
Oh, my God.
You know what I did think was interesting that McCarthy said about the circumstance they find themselves in, and the reaction to it was that 3 players that were scheduled not to practice yesterday insisted on practicing. I think it was Jordan Lewis, Eric Kendricks, and Malik Hooker.
They were supposed to take
they were supposed to be on the limited list and take a Veterans Day off, and they declined that option and decided they were going to show up out there.
Well, that's showing leadership.
It is. And that's what Jordan Lewis said. He said, I can't be in a room and act like I'm a leader and then not go to practice the next time there's practice.
Right. It was interesting. It seemed like when it rains, it pours here. And we found out yesterday that not only did the Cowboys put Jordan Phillips on IR, but Mozzie left practice with a back injury. And we haven't gotten a word on the seriousness of the back injury, but they were doing tests today. I don't think he practiced today. That's a concern.
So you don't know how much you miss somebody today, ain't there?
Well, I mean,
you miss the body, even if you don't miss.
Right, I don't care what you got to have bodies.
That's
to get
what
on the
I'm
field.
saying.
And they don't really have many people that play that specific position. What they do best, and so
Dak's got as many tackles. Why don't they just play him there?
Yeah, see,
two-way go.
See, that's
And
where
he
we
hit
are.
him hard too.
That's where we are. Speaking of defense, I did talk to one DeMarvion Overshaw. And I said,
This is your cause.
It is my cause, and it's a worthy cause. It's a necessary
He's
cause.
gonna pump up the Longhorn.
It's not in my pump the Longhorn.
One of his clients.
I'm like, dog. It's just a jock. Dog. This is a jock. This is maybe my dog.
Your client.
He didn't wear all that purple stuff. I don't know why you think he's one of your guys.
Why can't you get in on the base defense? He said, I'm in there this week.
Oh, okay.
I'm in there. That's all he said. I'm in there this week.
So this week they're playing sub packages.
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's because he's out there spying Lamar Jackson.
he's gonna be spying him, but Derrick Henry's a heavy run up the middle guy too. They don't really. The thing about it is they don't do edge runs like San Francisco. Their offensive linemen are not athletic. They're big. They run at you.
And so I asked.
They at you guys.
I asked Kendricks about that today because I had a curious question. Does tackling Derrick Henry? Do you realize he's only played one game against the Cowboys? 2 games. I mean, he's only got one real game he played though. If tackling him hurts more than any other running back you tackle, and he said, I was kind of surprised. He said, not really. He said, then again, of course, you got to make sure you hit him in the right angle.
Yeah.
You can't get caught coming off a block trying to hit him. He said, because you get run over.
Oh, he'll throw you out the club on the corner.
Have you ever stood next to him?
Derrick Henry?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Big mofo.
Yes, I did that. He played at Alabama, and I was shocked. I was just like,
This
is.
I saw him working out at Sanders Fit in downtown a couple years ago. I was hanging out over there, and he was doing this workout. I was like, yeah.
And this is when he had it was one of the. It was a Michigan State game when they tore up Connor Cook in Michigan State, and they blanked him. But in full pads out there, I'm on the field.
He's one of the guys that is so physically imposing. Like I would say Cam Newton is that way as a quarterback. Derrick Henry's that way as a running back. Calvin Johnson was that way, the Detroit wide receiver. You're like, how could this guy be built like this and play the position he plays? And Derrick Henry is that exactly.
Alonzo Spellman was like that too, but he was crazy.
Mozzie Smith?
Alonzo Spellman.
Oh, Alonzo Spellman.
He's like, woo.
Yes.
You don't want to be left in the room along with him.
And I've stood next to Eric Kendricks.
He's a small guy.
Yeah.
For a linebacker, he really is.
For a linebacker,
So we were talking to Zeke today, and he also brought up the size. He said that he was at the opening. You go back to high school at the same time as Derrick Henry. And he was like, who is that guy? Because he ran a 4.5, broad jump, not broad jump, but vertically 40 inches. And he said he thought it was a defensive end. He couldn't believe how big he was. Mm-hmm. You look at Zeke, and Zeke is a big, powerful back too, but he's 5'10". Normal running back size. This guy's huge.
Big joker, man.
And you got, like you're saying, they were vulnerable on the perimeter to the perimeter run game last week, and that's what you want Derrick Henry to do. Like you got to get Derrick Henry running wide. If he has success between the tackles, he's unstoppable. I've seen him run for 200 yards against the Texans several times.
Right.
At the end of season, he's had 2,000-yard seasons.
Right.
And he hadn't lost all that, and he's going to be running with maybe a little extra fury, knowing that this is where he wanted to play. if he could have chosen his team, he would have played here, and they didn't even bother to call the guy to find out what he wanted.
And he wanted to be here because he lives in the offseason. The fiance lives here. He does continue to work out of Sanders Fit. You know, he was working out and letting people know, I want to be here. I mean, I got so many calls, Derek, you know, about Derrick Henry. I talked to Derek. He wants to be here, wants to play with the Cowboys. He lives in Dallas. Jared did not pick up the phone.
You asking why?
Well, it's the 1 year that they decided right after paying Zeke at the top of the running back scale and Pollard on a franchise tag, $11 million, they decided not worth it to pay the running back position.
Yeah, they devalued the running back position. They decided they were not paying a running back, period. They let Pollard go. Certainly, they didn't even get into the Barkley sweepstakes. They did not.
And so you get what you pay for.
You know, and the thing about it is I was looking, your Buckeye from LaGrange, Texas, right by my hometown, that's in
Los Angeles
with the Chargers. I thought he was somebody that they would look at, but I know he'd be coming off those 2 ACLs, that there was concern about injury, but he's tearing it up. And he would have been, and he was cheap too. He was like
Talking about Dobbins?
Dobbins, yeah.
JK.
He's averaging almost 10 yards a carry.
Yeah, he's cheap.
I just saw somebody posted something that said if you just put J.K. Dobbins' top 3 runs and added them all together, he'd have more rushing yards than Derrick Henry has in all of his carries this year.
Right.
I think Derrick Henry has 130 yards. Is that
Yeah,
right?
he had 85 last week and 40 the first week, something like that, yeah.
So the thing with the Ravens is they're 0-2, but they play a certain way, and they have for a long time, and it's a way you would think that is going to bedevil the Cowboys' defense coming off. I mean, yeah, they're 0-2. They've run for 150 yards each week.
Yes. It's physical, it's in your face, and it's relentless.
The problem is the quarterback run for about 100 of them each week. You know,
he's pretty good at that. He ran for 122 against the Chiefs.
But they had problems scoring touchdowns in both games, too.
Right.
Red zone issue for the Cowboys last week, 0-3.
They only scored 3 touchdowns all year in 24 possessions.
Right.
So
that's bad.
Let's get our first break in here. When we come back, who's got more pressure come Sunday for a win? Is it Baltimore? Is it Dallas? We'll do that with Jacques Taylor, Ed Werder. You got Clarence Hill, I knew he Scruggs. This is the Media Mash.
Drawback finds Pearson. It's caught. Touchdown.
The Dallas Morning News delivers full press coverage of the Cowboys.
Aikman straight drop, throws it over the middle. Irvin in for the touchdown, Cowboys.
We cover your Cowboys from the preseason to the postseason and beyond.
Boot to the right. Looking down the field. Lamb. Victory.
Game by game, play by play. No one delivers your Cowboys like the Dallas Morning News. Connect deeper to the Dallas Cowboys with the Dallas Morning News.
I'm Cowboys alumni Danny McCray, here with Smoothie King asking, what's that sound? That's the sound of me sipping one of their power-packed smoothies with over 10 grams of protein. With real fruits and organic veggies, because at Smoothie King, what you see is what you sip. So grab a delicious Smoothie King smoothie, throw a straw in your jaw, and get sipping real. Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. # be your own boss.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Back to Media Mash.
Here we are, Media Mash Thursday with Jacques Taylor, Ed Werder, Clarence Hill. I'm Newey Scruggs. All right, Ravens 0-2. Trying not to fall to 0-3. Cowboys 1-1 in first place. Trying not to fall to 0-2 at home. It's true. First place Dallas Cowboys.
Skinny as fat guy.
Just saying. Just saying. I didn't lie.
Tallest short guy.
I did not
Smartest
lie.
dumb kid.
You guys have heard this a lot in your lives.
just going to be quiet.
These are all Taylorisms.
Who's got more pressure?
I think it's the Ravens because they got Buffalo and Cincinnati in the next 2 weeks. Those are games I like to say you could play well and lose, especially Buffalo, which would put them at 0-4 if they were to lose this week. Cowboys, I mean, if you can't beat the Giants, that'd be a fire Mike before they get home game.
Okay.
So I think more pressure's on the Ravens. They haven't won yet.
I think more pressure's on the Ravens are the defending. They went to the championship game last year. Mm-hmm. They've only started at 0-2 under Harbaugh, 3 times in 17 years. And I don't think – when's the last time a team recovered from 0-3 to go to the playoffs? The Chargers long ago. So I think it's more on the Ravens. But saying that, Dallas better not lose.
Right. And you got to ask, I'm with Ed. I don't care about the pressure on the Ravens. I know.
That was not the question whether you cared about it. That was not the question.
I'm answering like I want to answer.
That's what you always do.
Okay, the pressure is paramount on the Cowboys because, as I said, this season could go awry. And we had assumed that they would win against the Saints, but you lose to the Ravens, and you got the doors blown off at home, and you one thing the foundation of your success the past 2 years was your ability to win at home. And now you don't have that invincibility at home anymore. And you got the Giants next week, but you got at the Steelers, you got Detroit here. Then that bye, then you go to San Francisco, Atlanta, and Philadelphia and Houston. It could get ugly fast because that winning is contagious and so is losing.
I said on the Players Lounge, it's the Cowboys because number one, they fall to 0-3. John Harbaugh's not getting fired. John Harbaugh's job is secure. The staff, they're going to be there because he's won a Super Bowl for the owner. They believe in him. You go to 0-2 at home, and if this game is over at halftime like it's been the last 2 times they've rolled out there, we already know what the theme's going to be. After the game, there's going to be more people standing outside that locker room waiting to hear from Jerry than they are in there to hear from Mike McCarthy.
There always is.
I was going to say,
regardless of circumstance.
Yes. And it will be, this is when they might send 2 crews. Like, we need 2, double up the cameras and the reporters. It's going to be a lot there. So to me, it's on the Cowboys, and you just talked about that whole horrendous schedule there. One thing I looked at was just that whole AFC North here. Cincinnati's 0-2. They get Washington this week. Pittsburgh is 2-0. But along the way, you got
nobody believes in the Steelers.
I was gonna say, don't nobody believe in the Steelers.
Right. If you could think over 17 games,
and then nobody believes in Deshaun Watson and the Browns. So.
Right. This should even out where Baltimore should either win this thing or get a wild card out of it. But as Clarence has said here, man, this thing can get away from you real quick. And as each game goes by and they keep losing, what the questions are going to be. What about McCarthy? Is Mike the guy? How did Uncle Wade get fired? Go back and start thinking about that kind of stuff.
All of that because, this is a team that hasn't, historically under Mike McCarthy, lost 2 in a row.
Right.
And so, that's one thing you believe in. Okay, they're going to bounce back. If they don't bounce back, and again, it's because of all the extraneous stuff that is why you talk about Harbaugh and being insulated by not being fired, and they have a culture there. The culture here makes it dangerous that this thing could go awry if they continue to lose. And because all the coaches on 1-year deal, Mike McCarthy's not promised, all these questions are going to be asked. Everybody's going to start pressing. Zimmer was brought in to change things, having to change things. It's going to be some internal strife.
Yes.
That goes along with losing.
So go back just real quick here on your note there, Clarence. Since 2021, the Cowboys are 12-2 the week following a loss. That's an .857 winning percentage in the weeks following a loss, and that is tied with Buffalo for the best in the NFL over the last 3+ seasons.
And Dak Prescott's 26-12 in his career coming off a loss. So pretty strong numbers to suggest Dallas will handle this well, but it is a bad matchup for them, if you ask me, from a timing standpoint on the schedule. And your point, like when Mike McCarthy was not given a contract extension, when Mike Zimmer was hired on a 1-year deal, and all the coaches on the last year of their deals, we all know the one time Jerry made an in-season coaching change was Wade Phillips because the players quit on the coaches. And that could happen here in this circumstance because the players may be disillusioned and they don't consider themselves accountable to the coaching staff.
Yeah.
That's why the head coach matters.
And that's why I'm on I think the pressure is on the Cowboys more so than the Ravens. I think you just heard there's a culture. There's a culture. And if you have a bad year, I think they feel like over 17 games, Steve Bisciotti's not going to get on the radio, and not going to get in press conferences and all that talking about that. He'll be fine.
And the problem here is that the one thing the Ravens do well, the Cowboys do bad.
The ball.
Or not at all.
Right. Like not, and so this may be a shootout. This may be Dak against, he gonna have to, keep up the pace.
Well, the Ravens do give up a lot of
Right.
big pass plays. I think they've given up 8 passing plays of 25 or more yards, by far the most in the NFL.
The Cowboys have the playmakers to get those big plays.
Can they block up front long enough to get the ball out?
That's part of it.
Yeah. But I'm saying there is a vulnerability that they have too.
Yeah.
Like they're not infallible. They're winless, in fact. But like you said, the matchup that concerns you is how well they run the ball and how committed they are to that identity. Regardless of what you do for 20 plays, they are going to run the ball.
And if you want a bright spot, since y'all say I'm always a Longhorn, I always pump up the Longhorns.
Well, here's another one.
The kicker for Baltimore? Not having the seasonings.
The Cowboys got the edge of kicker. Okay. The future Hall of Fame kicker from Baltimore is at the yips. There are only two. There's only been 2 missed 50-yard field goals in the NFL this year.
Does that qualify as the yips because you can't hit a 50-yard?
That's what everybody else is doing.
This league it does.
Everybody else is doing it. Everybody else is
There's
doing
been 2 missed 50-yarders, and he has both of them?
He has
He's
both
got
of them. And they've lost close games.
Yeah.
And again, and that's what he did best.
It happens to the best of them. Remember, Dan Bailey. It happens to you. Okay, because we're waiting on Dak Prescott here, so we started the show a little late, so we got to get out of here. All right, give me a winner for Sunday. Cowboys, Ravens. What you got?
Come on.
I'll go Dallas 35-30.
Chill.
He's just trying to
You
keep
going
the season
Baltimore?
interesting.
I'm going Baltimore. Ravens 24-20.
Yeah.
I like the Ravens, man. 31-17.
31.
Well, this show's going to be a lot better next week than it was this week, if you guys are right.
What about tonight? We've got New England at the Jets. Aaron Rodgers back at home. What you got here, Ed, for that?
Aaron Rodgers back at home for the first time since he ruptured his Achilles tendon in that stadium in front of the Jets fan base last year. I will take the Jets 24-9.
I'm going to take the Spunky Patriots.
Spunky Patriots with 45 receiving yards.
Yeah, 14-13.
14-13.
I'm going to take Gimpy Aaron Rodgers, man. 21-13.
21-13. Look at you.
You writing these down now?
Yeah. Patriots 14-13. Matt Patricia
man.
not there.
But he don't never make a pick.
He just did.
like receipts.
Did he not? 14-13?
For the Jets, I went Jets 28-16.
I'm going to say, y'all got the Jets, Aaron Rodgers scoring low points. 21. What was your score?
He threw for 176 yards last week.
That's not the great Aaron Rodgers.
He hadn't had 300 yards passing in like 24 games.
That's not the great Aaron Rodgers.
He's not the great Aaron Rodgers anymore.
No, he's Gimpy Aaron Rodgers. That's how I described him.
Wow.
But he's got some good talent around him.
Before we get out of here, let's bring Ed into our conversation.
Which one?
Where we were talking about.
Did he?
You know Ed don't know that about.
I did not. Did he?
Was Ed at some
Did he?
party?
That's what they're trying to do.
About the baby oil.
Hey, isn't that what they're trying to find? Did he? That's what the trial's about.
I'm
Did
sorry.
he?
Okay.
No, he did. Over and over and over again.
But don't talk about number 98.
Did you know what freak off was before the lawyer? Did you heard the term?
No, I can't say I've ever heard that before.
Okay,
I haven't been invited to a freak off in my life.
I thought you got invited to the White House.
The original freak off.
The original freak off. Oh my God.
You should not have prolonged the show.
Texas style. We were asking Clint.
The other conversation.
Yes. Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott.
Who's the better? What's the question? Is it quarterback or is it player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most unique guy is Lamar Jackson. He's the best running quarterback in the history of football.
See how he did that? That's the same thing I did.
So
unique running quarterback. Who plays the quarterback position better, Dak Prescott?
If I had to pick one,
Yeah.
I'd want a more traditional passer, so I'd probably pick Dak. And he had great running ability at one point. And he's threatening to bring it out again this week.
You want your guy to be?
He either said he's going to run more, even if it's only for 2 or 3 yards, or he said I'm going to outrun Lamar Jackson in this game. I can't remember which one of those two. I have to go to
It wasn't the latter.
I have to listen to the tape.
It wasn't the latter.
You want your guy to be more quarterbacky.
I want a guy who I know can throw.
Quarterbacky. The guy more quarterback.
He's also a better leader.
But the other guy's won 2 MVP awards.
And how many? And it's led to nothing.
And the other guy hasn't won MVP awards and it's led to nothing.
Too.
So they both have kind of the same playoff record.
One guy's had a consistently good defense.
One guy's had a consistently better offense.
Defense wins championships, sir.
Does it?
So I gave an analogy. Tell me if it's crazy here.
Were you not signing off like 10 minutes ago?
I was, but I'm looking at the clock, and I'm going to bleed some time here because this is our last show, and this is so important when I talk to you guys. I feel so much smarter. I feel so much smarter when I talk to you guys.
That's why you write stuff down.
Even though he's just Louis Scruggs.
I am merely Louis Scruggs. I compared Dak and Lamar Jackson at this point in their careers with the playoff records, just trying to find themselves to Dirk Nowitzki and Kevin Garnett, when they were both really good players in the Western Conference, trying to find their ways, but couldn't get there and had won MVPs. Off on that?
I kind of like
okay.
that. Of course, I'm the guy who wrote the column that Dirk will never win the championship as long as he's the full.
At least you didn't say you write the column that says don't draft Michael Jordan. Some guy did that already.
You know what? I never wrote anything that crazy.
Yes, one guy did that here.
Interesting comparison. I don't really follow the NBA that closely, but that's worth a thought.
I like that.
Good comparison, though. Greatness. But they both eventually won. Garnett won.
He teamed up with
superstars.
Dirk took
that thing on his back by himself. No all-stars.
Fading all-stars.
Yep.
No current all-stars is my point.
Yes. Okay. All right, guys. Good stuff. Appreciate it. Jacques Taylor, Ed Word of the Hall of Famer. Clarence Hill, working towards it. One day, you're going to get in a room. See what happens, man.
Listen, I just want to be brushing with greatness, okay?
You are. You have
brushed with greatness, okay?
It's a Meaty Mash on Louis Scruggs. Take care, everybody.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?